Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Craftinomical SMP server. My name is Naragath, and we are playing FTB Revelation. Now, in the last episode, we got our angel ring, which allows us to fly, which is pretty awesome, and I've definitely been taking advantage of that in between episodes. And in the last episode, we also got a mob duplicator up and running with wither skeletons. Now, what I'm going to do at the beginning of this episode is a little differently than I normally do. Normally, I'll talk about what I did in between episodes. Instead, I'm going to do a little list that should be popping up on the screen right about now. Let me know if you like that or not. But the main reason why I'm doing that is I've tried recording this intro a couple times, and every time it turned into about a 30-minute intro, which obviously is way too long. So instead, I'm going to put a list in as far as what I've done. I'll hit on a couple of the things that I did in between episodes, and then we'll move on to what I plan on doing today. So let me know if you guys like that. Hopefully that it won't be a necessity too often, but I felt it was this time. So as far as a couple things that I do want to hit on, we did add refined storage to the pack, which is awesome. I'm really happy we did for a couple reasons. One, it's a little bit easier mod to deal with when it comes to like auto-crafting storage, most notably storage. AE2 is simple enough when you figure it out, but it'll be nice not have to worry about channels or only putting 63 different kinds of items in a drive, stuff like that. No more crystal growing, things like that. But the main reason why I'm happy that we have refined storage in the pack now is, as you'll notice here, my advanced subscribers that I had and my growth chamber are not there. I don't know what happened. I don't know why this happened. It's not because of refined storage, but I logged in one day last week and they were gone. I thought, okay, whatever. Yeah, maybe it was a weird chunk loading thing or something. Yeah, something along those lines. No big deal. Remade them, put them back up. Thought that was the end of it. A couple days went by and they stayed there. I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I solved that. Even though I really didn't do anything. But then I logged in, yesterday. So, it was a couple days ago at the time that you're watching this. But anyway, I logged in and, they were gone again. And by this time, we had added refined storage to the pack. So I was like, screw it. I'm not remaking them. I'm moving over to refined storage. So that's basically where I'm at with that. I'm not going to be doing that today, mainly because I have other plans for today's episode. But it will be something that'll be happening probably prior to the next episode. I'll have a good majority of this moved over to refined storage. At a minimum, I'll have my storage set up for it. I might not have the auto-crafting set up by then, but I'll at least have the storage moved over. So, yeah. I guess look forward to that, I suppose. So the main thing that I want to work on today is down here. And I'll show the control room here in a sec. Not that there's a lot to show, but it'd be cool to show anyway. But the main thing I want to work on today is down here. I'm going to be putting food production as well as a few of the mob farms down here. And I'll be moving my cursor farm from up there to down here. So those are the main things I'm going to be working on today. And for the food production, I'm going to be making food in a direct way to make pizza, or the meat feast pizza specifically. That's going to be the main thing I'm going to go for today. Whether I get it to completely go through that chain, I don't know yet, but I'll at least get it started. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, if you're wondering, no, I did not dig all this out by hand. I'm not quite that crazy. I used my builder and I changed its shape card from a regular fortune card to a clearing fortune card. So this made it really simple, really easy to clear out a lot. There's still a little bit more that I need to clear right there, but at the same time, I may not need to, as over here, I'm just going to be putting in some power generation from nuclear craft. So I may not even need to worry about clearing that off. And if the nuclear craft doesn't produce as much power as I would like, I'm going to be making a bigger reactor. So yeah, there's that. And then in the back here, from one end to the other, I'm going to be putting void ore miners. Now, yes, that's going to be very expensive, but I think it'll be cool and worth it in the end, you know, and it'll be cool just to say that I produce an industrial amount of whatever, you know, and I think it'll be pretty cool. And I'll also be able to put in enough void arm miners where I can have every single lens. And you know, so if I need a specific item, I could just activate that miner. Which brings me to my control room. Like I said, right now is not a whole lot to look at, but it's still pretty cool. This is what I spent most of the time in between episodes working on, is getting this to be running and working. And right now it only works with mob farms, and more specifically the two that I have set up. But by the end of the episode, we'll have a few of them. And I'll probably even have the meat feast mob farm set up. But yeah, it's pretty easy, pretty simple. You just go up here and you can click on whichever mob farm, and it will either activate or deactivate it. And it seems to be a little picky for that top one, so I may look at moving them down a little bit so it's a little bit easier to click. But anyway, you can control it from here, and once I get to the reactors and power cells, it'll also always be able to come over here and at a glance tell how my power is doing. You know, do I need to increase power output, or am I doing fine on it? You know, et cetera, that kind of thing. And then I'll also be able to control my different miners. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get some things put together, and I will be back with you guys once I'm starting to put in the food production. All right, I thought I'd go ahead and bring you guys back in real quick for a little progress update, and also a word of warning: if you use a building wand, make sure you know where you're pointing when you click it. Oh, and that also reminds me that I never showed what I did with the Nether Star. I made an unbreakable wand. But yeah, I kind of made a mess. So I gotta fix that up. But anyway, other than that, dealing with having to clean that up, I have taken that cursed earth farm that we had here. I've already taken it out, replaced the lights, and yeah, I haven't decided what I'm putting in here yet. So if you have a suggestion, feel free to leave in the comments down below. So now I'm going to go back to cleaning up my mess and putting the cursed earth farm down here. This is a lot of blocks to clean up. All right, so a quick progress update. The area right here that I'm going to be using for getting all the materials I need for making the pizza is just about ready. Obviously, I need to put in harvesters so that I can harvest the vegetables and whatnot that's going to be growing in these areas right here. I'm going to keep these in a 3x3 because what I'm going to do is I'm going to change all these to water source blocks, and then I'm going to put lily pads of fertilization all around them. And that should hopefully allow them to grow fast enough where a 3x3 is more than enough to keep up with what I need. I hope. We'll see. I don't actually know. But then back here behind the dark glass, I have 3 soul cages here. And we're going to have one for cows, one for pigs, one for chickens. And I'm just going to have them spawning and being killed by crushers. So we get all the... or mob crushers. So we get all the meat that we need for the pizzas. But before I can really get to this point, I need to get 3 tier 5 soul shards with cows, pigs, and chicken. So the way I'm going to do that is first I'm going to show you how to make the soul shards. They're really easy. In fact, I can do it right here. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 1 glowstone block right there. You're going to need obsidian in the corners here. And then you're going to need quartz blocks around it, like so. Then you're going to take a diamond and right-click. And then what you're going to see is you're going to have an unbound soul shard. Now, with that in your inventory, the first thing you kill is what it's going to get bound to. So I'm not going to make another one right now, but I am going to go head up to the mob duplicator, put in my cow mob imprisonment tool, and I'm going to bind that one to cows and get that one up to tier 5. And the reason why I want tier 5 specifically is any tier lower, and you can't control it with redstone. And I want to be able to control them with redstone to say, hey, I don't want you spawning, basically. So that's, you know, where that's going to come in. So I'll be back with you guys when I have tier 5 of all 3 of those. All right, and welcome back, everyone. So another quick progress update. I've got the Cursed Earth mob farm pretty much moved down. While I was in the process of getting my soul shards, I realized that essence was going to be kind of an issue since I took out the other one. Which was, yeah, there was a whoopsie on my planning. I totally forgot about that. So anyway, what I've done is I have these ender tanks here set to triple green and privated so that I'll be able to move essence from downstairs up here without having a lot of pipes going through. Go ahead, head back down the stairs real quick. And heading over here. This is where the new Cursed Earth mob farm is going to be. It's 3 times as big as the other one. We'll see how that works. It might work good, it might not. We'll see. I mean, it's all an experiment for me. So, got that. So, pretty good size. I haven't put down the drops of evil just yet. I figure I'd go ahead and do that with you guys on camera. And around the back here, we have Leadstone flux ducts going around because I shouldn't need more than 1,000 RF per tick for all these. So, at least I don't think so. I think about it. See if I can figure out how much we need. Yeah, 40 RF per tick. So 40 times 6, we're looking at what? 240 RF per tick total is what I'll need for all these. So 1,000 is going to be more than enough. But anyway, just like what I had before, I have signal and plated impulse item ducts coming out of the back here so I can transfer the items out as well as get the power in. The main difference of what I did up there and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have these running all the time. I'm not going to shut them off. Basically, the only way I'm going to shut down the farm is to turn on the lights. So that should work out pretty good. Then down here, I got hardened fluid ducts, which will be pumping into those ender chests that ender tank that you saw at the mob duplicator. And I went ahead, did one for each one, just in case later on down the line, maybe I want to send it to another ender tank, so I can come over here, change the color combination, and boom, I don't need to do anything further from there. Right now, obviously, they're all going to the same spots or the same combination, so it's it is what it is. But at the same time, it's going to have the added bonus that I don't need to worry about the flow rate of the hardened fluid ducts. I can pump it all in and I'll be fine. So anyway, going up from here, we have the signal plated impulse item ducts ending right here, and then just going regular impulse item ducts goes into the under chest that I have set up for the quarry. So it's going to go up to that same spot with the all the ores and stuff like that from the quarry. So that'll be good. That also means that when it gets time for me to switch that storage room around, I don't need to do anything with the ender chest at all. Except maybe come down here and maybe change up the combination, because I think the other one I have out there is green, white, green. It might be a thought to do that, depending on how I set it up there. But anyway. Then other than that, I have 2 redstone receivers up here to control the lights, which is also how the farm is controlled, which is controlled exactly the same way as it was before, where I have a computer here that will control it based on the signal there. So, easy enough. So now what I'm going to do is first I'm going to go ahead, close this up, not with quartz. Alright, so we'll get that up. I'm going to go ahead and grab some drops of evil. And before I place those down, I have a few ender tethers here. I went ahead and graded 3. I'm not sure what the range is on these, but just so I don't have to worry about it, I'm going to put one between 2 of the crushers. Yeah, for each set of 2. So I'll put one there. And then the last one we'll put right there. So that should be more than enough to cover it. I'm sure it's overkill, but at least this way I know it's going to work. So now the next thing to do is to place down the drops of evil. And obviously, drops of evil, they do have a range, but it's good enough. Okay. So the last part is to go ahead and seal this up and let's test her out. This ought to be interesting. Oh yeah. That's working pretty good. Now whether it's working 3 times as fast as the old one, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's go ahead, make sure that it's registering. Yeah. Now let's go ahead, head up to the storage real quick. Just gotta make sure everything's flowing in here nicely. Looks like they are. Awesome. And let's go ahead and head back here and take a look at the fluid tank. So either it's refilling all the lines or it's not working the way I expected it. Although these lines do look more full than they were before. So, I don't know. I'll give it a minute and then I'll bring you guys back in if, you know, if it either is working or if I figure out something else. All right, and welcome back. So it turns out that it was indeed that the pipes were backed up. So all I had to do was wait. So what I'm going to do now is the tank that I had originally for Essence, I'm going to be putting in here as well. What I will do, there it is. Instead of having to go straight up, I'm going to put the tank here. I'm going to have fluid ducts going from there to there and then on up. And yeah, there it is. Grab the servos here. Do it like that. That way we can store quite a bit more essence, so it'll be less of a chance of the farms not being able to keep up. So as it is, I don't think it's producing essence quite as fast as I had hoped, but it might be enough to at least keep up with the demand that I'm going to have for it. We'll see. And if I have to, I don't know. I don't want to increase the farm any bigger than it is. I think as big as I have it is good enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go back to getting my soul shards, and I'll bring you guys back in when I'm ready to continue on with that. So I was farming for my tier 5 for the pigs, and yeah, my net decided to be a little crap at the moment, I guess. And yeah, as you can see, a little bit of a bacon explosion happened here. So let's see if we can get this cleaned up. And one thing that I realized that I kind of forgot to mention about this soul shard mod, when you're getting your tiers of your soul shards, you want to make sure that on your sword you have Soul Reaper or Soul Stealer. And the higher the level of Soul Stealer that you have, the more souls you'll get per kill. As to get to a max tier, you need like 1,024, something like that. You know, it's a lot. And you know, the more kills you get or the more kills according to the souls you get per kill, yeah, the quicker this goes. And provided your internet doesn't crap out on you while you're doing it, it doesn't take very long. And with the Flex and Fuse sword, the only thing I wish I had on this right now is Sweeping Edge 3. But otherwise, it doesn't take very long at all. And especially when you have a mob duplicator that spits out the mob that you need, you know, pretty rapidly. Yeah, this doesn't take very long at all. Yeah, it takes longer for me to DC than reconnect than it does really for me to get, from one tier to the next on the soul shard. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Now, with that soul stealer enchant, though, I think it's very limited on what swords it can go on. You can't put it on Tinker's swords, but you can put it on the Flux Infuse, like I have, obviously. And you can put it on the soul, or the sword that comes with soul swords, the Vile sword. So that might be something to keep in mind when you're going for this. What sword are you going to use? That's something to keep in mind. So let's see if we can get just about to tier 5 here. And you'll know when you get to tier 5 that it's really going to change in the hotbar down there. It'll no longer have a bar, and it'll be glowing a little bit differently. So it should be just about there. Yeah, only a few more kills. And everything's going in slow motion. And I think my net just crept out of me. Yep. Alright, and welcome back, everyone. So, I've got my tier 5 soul shards for both the chicken and the pig here. And now I'm ready to see if my idea for how this is going to work will work. So, to sum it up, I have the soul cages here. So we're going to put pig in chicken in this one, pig in that one. And I have the vector plates here because when you look at the... Apparently a bat's been killed in here. Okay, I'll have to work on that. But anyway, you look at the range and it goes just before that. And since we are that far away, for some reason I was thinking it was only one block. We'll go ahead and put a second layer of vector plates here. And what this will allow to happen is whenever whatever spawns on the outside here, it's going to be shot out and right into the range of the mob crushers. So what I'm going to do now, since I'm here working on this, so I'm going to have to upgrade these filters, it looks like. I was hoping I could get away with just the basic tier filters, but apparently not. And yeah, I know the bows are an issue. That's something I'm going to have to fix off camera. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'll go ahead and upgrade these guys to the max tier, which is easy enough. And we're going to go to this. Now, the reason why I'm doing it on both sides is just to make sure that there's enough bandwidth that it'll keep up. Granted, with this only having one slot in the trash can, that may not end up being an issue, but we'll see. Okay, so I think I have everything on me that I want to whitelist. So bat wings, feathers, tallow. Basically, this is everything that's going to be thrown away. So that should be good. And whitelist, feather, and tallow. Alright, so that should handle everything. Just in case we get another bat in there. That is one thing I did not expect. I should have, but I didn't. Alright, so I turn that servo on. And what I also have set up here, you'll see how I have raw pork chops signaled. Hopefully, if everything goes the way it should, I hope, it'll be sending the raw pork chops all the way down over here to this chest. And this chest will round robin them to a smelter, furnace rather, and the crafter, so that I can have both the raw pork chops and the cooked pork chops, because I need both for the end result. So hopefully that works. We'll see. I don't know if it'll export out to the back first, or if it's going to eject it to the top first. ejects it to the top first, then I'll have to rethink my plan. But the idea that I have is that, say, the chicken and the steak, well, we only need the cooked variants of it. So as soon as it kills them, sends it up to the induction or the furnaces that are on top, and that'll then send the end result later on out to another chest. Whether I do an ender chest or if I send it through the item ducts, I haven't decided yet. But I want to see if this part of it works, because if this part works, then I can continue on with what I got there, and I don't need to do any adjustments. If it doesn't, well, I got to do some adjustments. So I'll seal this up real quick. And we'll get dark glass in here. Oh, it would help that before I do that, let's take care of the soul shards. So there's one thing that it would be nice if when you put in a soul shard, if it actually gave you some indication, at least on the one probe tooltip that I have in the top. That'd be nice if it gave you some kind of indication, but unfortunately it does not. But that one I happen to know is cow, and if I were to put the pig one in there, it would replace it with pig, but the cow one would be completely lost. So yeah, that's a thing. So you have to make sure that you know if you've placed a soul shard in or not, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So now that we got both of those in, let's go ahead, close her up. Now I don't think I need to have it completely dark in there, but I'm going to for right now anyway. I may put some lights in there just to prevent other mobs from spawning, but I've been having it dark for quite a while and there hasn't been any mobs spawning, so I'm thinking it's not an issue, and that I think that they're within range of the mega torches that I have. So let's go ahead, fire this puppy up and see what happens. So, hey. Oh, I'll have to figure that out instead of the kick pork shots over here, which may work out. I may want that. But that is working. Awesome. Okay, so now the next step will be for me to get the crops taken care of, and I realized that I don't actually have a Pam's tomato, so getting the seeds for the tomatoes might be interesting. I think I can do it. I might have to make a market for it, and then go from there. The lily pads fertilization, well, that's gonna unfortunately have to wait till the in-between episodes, as I am starting to run a little low on time, and I think by the time I get the crops taken care of, it's gonna be about time to wrap up the episode so I can get it out to you guys on time. So we'll see what happens. All right, and welcome back, everyone. So it's been a little while since the last cut. Ran into a little issue where the Pam's Harvest Craft Market, if you click too fast to get items too quickly, it will crash the server. So yeah, I ended up crashing the server. But as a result, that also means that this episode's going to go out later than I had liked. So the good news with that, though, is I had mentioned I was going to get the lily pads of fertilization in between episodes. Since it's going out late anyway, I figured, why the heck not? We'll go grab them. So I went and made a few of them, and these things work a lot better than I anticipated. So I'm not upset with that at all. So I just need to get 6 more, but even then I'm, they're moving fast enough. Maybe I don't even need to worry about it. But yeah, it's been working a treat. We're already up to almost 500 of the pizzas here. Go ahead, grab one of these real quick. And yeah, it mentions that you get a buff when you eat it. So let's see what kind of buff we get. So we get strength and resistance. Not bad at all. So anyway, a quick overview of how this works. I mean, it's fairly simple, but there's a lot of steps to it. So the first part is we got all the vegetables here are getting harvested by the gatherers here. Got the wheat is about the only real different one, and I do need to change the wheat up a little bit. As you can see, the seeds are backing up here, so I'm going to want to send the seeds at least to a drawer that has a void upgrade, so that we don't have to worry about the seeds backing up here. And then the wheat itself is sent over to this crafter here, which is made into wheat flour. And that wheat flour is then sent out to the crafters over there. There's only one spot for the wheat flour, so it's full at the moment, so that's why it's backed up. But not a big deal. But anyway, then we got the Pam's Harvest Craft stuff here. These are pretty simple, and they're all set up the same way. We have the server here on round robin, so it'll send one to that crafter there, and one to that crafter over there to craft into whatever I need. And this one, it will turn it into the seeds, and in turn send it to the sower. Right now it's all full, but yeah, not a big deal. And these grow fast enough that that's no surprise to me. But it's the same for all the Pam's Harvest Craft there. And if we come over here to this little bit of a mess here, we have this bottom crafter here, which crafts our fresh water and our fresh milk. It then sends the empty buckets down here in a round robin style to the two mechanical users here. One is dealing with the cow, and the other one is going into a sink. And then it's sending the end results back up to that crafter and repeat ad nauseum. And you may have noticed that I have a couple of doors here with void upgrades. This is to make sure that we never get backed up because of the milk or the water. So that's good there. And then we have this furnace here, which only will cook raw pork chops into cooked pork chops. Since we need both for the recipes, for the regular pizzas, we need the raw pork chop. And then for the pork sausage, we need the cooked variant. So yeah, I want to be able to have both of them come there. And I think I might have kind of pointed it out for the furnaces there, as far as just separating the two. And those, it works out pretty good. But yeah, as far as how this works, for the furnace, I just have a filter on there, so we never get the wheat flour, for example, which if you put that into the furnace, it's going to make bread, and we don't want bread. So yeah, I want to make sure not to get bread. There's that. And then as far as the steak and the cooked chicken, it's coming up here into this ender chest here, which is way full. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take care of that in between episodes. No big deal. But anyway, it goes into there, and I have the leather and the experience coming from here, head over to it, and I gotta filter those out as well. But the counterpart to that ender chest is right here, and it will send it to the crafter as needed. So yeah, that's pretty much how it's set up. Now, like I said, pretty simple, a lot of steps, but totally worth it. Go ahead, turn off the soul form, or the soul cages there. But anyway, I'm afraid that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. If you're not already, consider subscribing. And you can follow me on Twitter to know the next time I upload. Until next time, guys, have a good one.